Do you know exactly where you're supposed to be? I'm serious, exactly where you're supposed to be. And no, it's not too late. So sit with me for a moment and I'll give you 3 reasons why. Can we talk? I was in my early 20s with a freshly minted degree and no job. I watched friend after friend accept their dream job in corporate America, and there I was, stuck. And the job that I had started the summer before my senior year, just as part-time work. I can even remember a colleague at that company mockingly reminding me that, wow, you have your degree and yet you're still here. And it was true. I was still there. I had searched and found that what was easy and normal and natural for others was just not happening for me. And it was in that position that a sorority sister called me up and offered me a position with her as a parole officer. I knew that wasn't God's plan for me, but I was still in a part-time job, at that point staying with my sister and ready to start my life on my own. So I took the position, and in short order, I knew I'd made a mistake. There I was, stuck again. So I returned to my university begrudgingly one more time for assistance. And I recall that there was this job listing that I received. I padded my resume just a little bit and I submitted it, and I got an interview. I was so excited. I researched on the internet and found out everything I could possibly find out about this company. So on the day of my interview, as I walked in with my fresh little suit, excited, and greeted the receptionist, I said a small prayer, and I was escorted into this beautiful picture windowed office. I could still remember this regal woman sitting behind the desk. She began to talk to me about the position, and after some time, she looked up at me, and with her glasses kind of tilted down a bit, she said, I see you're a parole officer. And before I could make up a reason or an excuse why I'd had taken such a position, she actually said, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to meet you. You see, that regal woman, impeccably dressed, sitting behind that desk, had a son that was on probation. So we spent the next half of my interview discussing her son. And before that day was over, I was hired as an account manager. And that was over 20 years ago. And from that position, from that opportunity, I've had a career that exceeded my dreams. The reason for this story is to remind you that you have a purpose, and no matter where you are in life right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Or should I say exactly where you need to be, and it's not too late. The first principle I want to share is that you have a purpose. You have an assignment. There is something you're here to do. Psalms 139 states, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. If you're alive and you're breathing, you have a purpose. There's something you need to be doing. And with that, you're where you need to be. There is a scripture that's commonly quoted from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And if you go a few verses over, you'll realize that God was talking to a people that were in captivity. So even if you're not where you think you should be, nothing will be wasted. You see, going back to my story about not getting a job, becoming a parole officer, that valley time of not finding a job and later becoming a parole officer, God ultimately used that to promote me. So nothing is wasted. So whatever you're doing right now, know that and use the time that God has given you to prepare, because the blessing will come. One of my favorite scriptures is from Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. All things, meaning the valleys and the mountaintops. All experiences will work for your good. You trust and believe that all your experiences will come to your good. So pay attention to where you are right now and focus on what God is speaking to you in this season as you're being prepared, because this season will not last. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10 reminds us that after you have suffered a while, the Lord himself will restore you. So again, even if you find yourself in a valley right now, use that time to prepare, because that brings me to number 3. I've found in my life that whenever I receive something too soon, a blessing too soon, oftentimes it was fleeting, because we need to be prepared. So don't rush the process, and don't begrudge the day of small beginnings, because God has a plan for you, and it's not too late. And when the time is right, it surely will come to pass. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3 states, "For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks, it will not be proven false. Though it linger, wait for it, because it will certainly come to pass, and it will come without delay when the timing is right." So be patient and wait. Going back to something that I quote often, Ecclesiastes 3:1. There is a time for everything, a season for everything under the sun. And when your season comes, be prepared and be ready. Even if you're not where you think you should be, it's not too late. When the time comes, you just need to be ready, because timing is everything. So to recap, no matter where you find yourself, you have a purpose. So don't give up on yourself. 2, even if you're going through something right now, it's not going to be wasted. And 3, timing is everything. And when the time comes, you will move into your destiny. That's it. Until next time, thank you for joining me. Can we talk?